What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. I know it sounds impossible, but Mason Miller, the closer for the Padres, could actually have a chance at winning Cy Young. He was up to 103 miles an hour again. You know what else sounds impossible? The Yankees having another Judge, but a lefty version of Judge. No BS, I know it sounds dramatic. Ben Rice is doing lefty Aaron Judge things. The Mets, dude, they might have to fire their manager. I still cannot believe what he didn't do in yesterday's game as they're on the verge of losing 11 in a row. I hate saying this out loud because I really like Roki Sasaki. He might not be cut out to be a starting pitcher. He was bad again. His fellow countryman, on the other hand, Murakami, he's making history. He became the first rookie to do this. Jose Ramirez, he lost a bunch of weight over the offseason. He hit 2 more home runs. He's on pace for the first ever 40-70 season. If you're new here, my name's Fuzzy. I recap every single baseball game every single day so you never miss out. Join the movement of growing the game with me. Leave a like and hit that subscribe button. And as always, don't forget to save yourself 20 bucks off on Seatgeek with my code Fuzzy. And if you've never played Underdog Fantasy, if you download today with my code Fuzzy, they're going to give you guys 50 bucks, a free pick'em. There's a bunch of free boost as well. You also have the NBA playoffs in full swing with MLB. A lot of you guys have been using my options on Twitter and just kind of going crazy, so you're welcome for that. I'm gonna get this Jays and Diamondbacks game out the way first because, I mean, it was basically over before it began. The Blue Jays set a franchise record with 8 runs in the very first inning. Vladdy, he had a little inside-out swing for the first 2 runs. He's over 600 RBIs for his career, which is a lot for a 26-year-old. Eloy Jimenez, there's his first RBI as a Blue Jay. The hit parade is just going to keep on continuing. As Kaz Okamoto, that's a 2-run double. He had a few base hits the game before. Maybe he's finally getting past that 2-week-long slump that he was in after really just showing out the first week of the season. I think at one point the Jays had 7 consecutive hits in a row. Now, it did get snapped, but Nathan Lucas got right back to it. He's about to clear the bases. He had 3 base hits in this game, and like I said, this game was over before it began. Okamoto, oh yeah, he might be back. So he just hit a home run. He completes a 3 RBI day in the desert. I do want to kind of shout out Brandon Pfaadt because he's been horrific. But as someone who came out the pen to kind of just save the Diamondbacks bullpen, he went 6 1/3, only 1 earned run. Gosman, he finally got his first W of 2026. And I'm going to show this for all of my Diamondbacks fans. Jorge Barosa, that's his first home run, but he has 9 extra base hits and 2 outs above average. That's pretty good. The Jays, they officially snapped their 4-game losing streak. You got the Royals and the Yankees. There was a 2.5-hour rain delay before this game. There are so many cities in baseball that probably should have a dome, and they just don't, which is crazy to me, but the game finally got started. We have Reagans versus Weathers. They both had their routines messed up, but I guess Ryan didn't mind the weather because he is Ryan Weathers. I'm sorry, that was bad. Judgy, he just went to Monument Park. Aaron Judge, the captain's up to 9 home runs already. He's tied again with Yordan Alvarez. They both have 9. We're going to show Yordan in just a second. They're both casually on pace for 65+ home runs. Ben Rice, he has 4 letters in his last name and 4 home runs in his last 4 straight games. His 3rd off a lefty, by the way. Aaron Boone, you can never sit this guy ever again. He has 8 home runs. He's leading the American League in batting average, on base percentage, slugging, OPS, OPS plus. He has quite literally been, this is not me being dramatic just for the sake of saying it, he has been lefty Aaron Judge. Trent Grisham, he's about to go yard as well. The Bronx Bombers are having a field day. That's a 7 spot. Trent's only batting like 160, and he's also having some regressing defense, so hopefully this pop continues. Weathers, he was gross. He only allowed 1 run on an RBI double to Bobby Witt. Wait, who was running? Who was that? Oh, it's Elias Diaz, the former All-Star Game MVP for the Rockies. He got thrown out at home, so the shutout continued for Ryan Weathers. He had 8 strikeouts, only 1 walk, and by the way, after that walk, he had a double play, so it meant nothing. Ryan is down to a 3.1 ERA with a whopping 11.5 strikeouts per 9. You have Garrett Cole and Yordan coming back, so you can go Cole, Fried, Cam Schlittler, Yordan, Weathers. Will Warren just struck out 11 with no walks. I mean, the Yankee staff is legitimately scary. They're 13-9. The Royals have lost 7 games in a row. The Mets are the only team who can safely say they've been worse than the Royals, and we'll get into the Mets game right after this because we got to see if Yordan can untie Judgy. This was a super weird first clip. So Taylor Trammell, he skied one deep, but on his backswing, he hit the catcher, and I guess he must have felt bad because he took forever to get out the box, but the ball was in play. It bounced off the pole or something like that. It was a crazy hard deflection, and it could have been an inside the Parker. Regardless, it's 3 bases for Taylor Trammell. Correa, he's about to lift one. Victor Scott doesn't have the craziest arm, but this is a nice throw that was ruined by the mound because it skipped off the mound. Mike Burrows has the lead. This guy went 12 up, 12 down. He struck out 6. When Mason Wynn said, F your perfect game, then you have Nathan Church walking Pedro Pages, the catcher, is about to leg out a swinging bunt, and now the bases are loaded to Victor Scott. It's just crazy how fast baseball can flip that. I mean, that's just bad baseball from Mike Burrows. JJ from Ryan Weathers in that last game, he got some shine. Now Weatherhole, a 2-run single from the rookie. Ivan Herrera, he is so good. That's 11 RBIs for Herrera, which is just 1 RBI more than Yordan has home runs. He did it. He's the first in baseball to 10 home runs. He officially repasses Aaron Judge. He's on pace for 70 home runs. He has 21 RBIs as well. The Astros, they're rallying again. 2 are in scoring position for Isaac Paredes, and Isaac socked it to the gap. We are tied at 4, so that ends an 0 for 20 streak for Isaac Paredes. To extras we go. Mason, he might be putting the win in his own name. He does. His third base hit is a 3-run base clearing double. Mason had 1 RBI in 2026 coming into the series. Now, I think he had, 6 or 7 in the series alone. Altuve had an RBI later in this game, but it wasn't enough. The Redbirds do sweep the Astros in Houston. They've won 5 games in a row. They're 13-8. The Astros are 8-15, so we got to talk about their stumbling and fumbling after we talk about this Mets game. All right, let's see if the Mets did it. They are so due, it almost hurts. PCA, I mean, with his speed, this can be 3 bases, right? Yeah, he's going for it. He's rumbling and stumbling. He made it, but then it meant nothing because the infield was in and PCA got doubled off, so it's still 0-0 after 4 innings. When MJ Melendez went off, he's been awesome so far. It's only been 4 games, and he's kind of been the lone bright spot, but that's his first home run. He has 3 extra base hits in his first 4 games. When he was with the Royals before he actually made his debut, he was a very sought-after prospect who was an extra base machine with tons of pop. David Peterson, he was awesome. He was 1 out from going 6 scoreless. They brought in Brazaban, and maybe they shouldn't have because he walked 1 guy. Then he walked 2 straight. Mets fans got to be losing their minds right now. So the bases are loaded for Seiya. Brazaban said, see ya. He blew it past Seiya, and he strands him. Now we have Devin Williams in. He's trying to get his 3rd save. This is it ends here, right? Like, the losing streak is over. Okay, Hap is on. No biggie. Because Seiya Suzuki is about to strike out again. But there's no way, right? Conforto, the old Met, he's up. This is unreal. The old Mets masher ripped it down the line. They brought in Scott Kingery as a pitch runner. He flew around. It is 1-1. Conforto ties it. That is Devin Williams' first blown save as a Met. So we get free baseball in back-to-back games. To extras we go. The Mets, they got 2 on after a Simeon single, and thankfully Nico Horner got there. MJ Melendez had to hold at third base. Otherwise, the Mets would have taken the lead. Caleb Thielbar bared down, and he struck out Luis Torrens. Now it's Kimbrel's turn to try and keep things tied. PCA, he is so fast. He threw a pitch to Narnia like they didn't even have to bunt. Dansby, he struck out. So now you have Nico. I was waiting for the intentional walk, but it never came. Are they stupid? PCA is fast. Nico is a very high contact guy. Are they actually dumb? This is a fireable offense in my opinion. Even Cubs broadcasters and hosts were saying that Carlos Mendoza, the manager of the Mets, needs to update his LinkedIn because, yeah, I get maybe throwing to Dansby Swanson because he whiffs a lot, but Nico, that doesn't make any sense with PC at third base. The Cubs have won 5 games in a row, just like the Cardinals. They're 12-9. The Mets are 7-15 after dropping 11 in a row. We're not talking about the Mets or the Astros. Here we go. So we just saw the Mets lose their 11th game in a row, and if we look at the stats, there have only been 3 teams in MLB history that have lost 11 games throughout one season and still made the playoffs. As most recent, it was the 2017 Dodgers. Before that, it was the 1982 Braves, and before that, the 1951 Giants. So the statistics are very much against the Mets of making the playoffs, so should we talk about them giving up on the season already? Bo Bichette, he's making $42 million and hitting .217 with an embarrassing .538 OPS. Jorge Polanco, before getting put on the IL with some sort of wrist injury, I can't remember exactly what it was, but he was awful. He had an even worse .532 OPS. Francisco Lindor and Marcus Semien, they both have an OPS just over 600, which is very bad. Brett Beatty and Mark Vientos, they've also been pretty stinky. The Mets have free agents like David Peterson, Freddie Peralta, Luis Robert Jr. if that club option does not get exercised. I felt like the White Sox picked that up so they could trade him, and then someone else could either extend him or trade him again. What's going to happen with Luis? What about Clay Holmes? He has a player option. He's been really good this year. Maybe he rejects it. Do the Mets just kind of say, you know what? Either we're going to wait for Juan Soto to get back and wait for these cold streaks from our megastars to end, and we're going to call up a Jonah Tong and everything's going to be clicking after that? Or should they say, look at the stats. Only 3 teams have ever made the playoffs. None of them have ever won the World Series. Should we just restart? The Astros going to have the same conversation as well, because if you take a look at their free agents, Jeremy Pena, I love JP, but he's consistently not available. so he's going to be a free agent. Lance McCullers, the exact same issue. He's good when he's healthy. He's also going to be a free agent. And Brian Abreu, he's kind of slowing down. He was awesome the last few years, but again, not been good to begin 2026. So should the Mets and the Astros just see the writing on the wall and pull a Marlins, where the Marlins kind of gutted their team pretty quick, and they're not out of the weed just yet. They're not 10 games above 500 or anything, but we can see the Marlins have a plan, and they're getting younger and they are getting better. Mets and the Astros are kind of older teams, so should they pivot right now or just wait for the troops to come back? The Astros also have a lot of injuries as well. What should the Astros do? What should the Mets do? Should they start trading people? Should they really buckle down and say, this is it and we're going for it? What is the plan? If you were GM of these teams, what would you do? I want to see in the comments. Now, staying with teams who could get a little bit younger because they just kind of look old and flat. I mean, the Phillies, they've lost 8 of their last 10 games. Now they're on the verge of being swept by the Braves. Good thing Schwarber isn't 45 years old. People think that he's a whole lot older than he is. He's like, what, 33 years old, maybe 34. Ronald, he was pointing like, that guy took the home run. That is fan interference, but they went to replay. They confirmed that it did leave, so it's 2-0, 2-1. Michael Harris is in one of those Michael Harris groups. Michael now has 2 3-hit and a home run game over the last few days. His exit velocities are off the charts. He's got 4 home runs, 2 outs above average. Like, he is just a flat-out star. The Braves, they're threatening bad. The bases are loaded. Nobody out in the 5th inning. Olsen, he's going to get the RBI because there was no double play. So now it's 2-2 on the tie. Austin Riley, he's been spraying home runs all over the place, and this is why baseball is the best, because sometimes you don't have to hit the ball 900 miles an hour, and Riley's showing that because he's laughing as he reaches first base. Ozzy Albies hit one over everyone. The boos were thunderous at this point. Now we have Bryce Harper, the 2-timer. He's up with 2-1. We're still in the 5th. Riley, he saved the game. He snagged it, and then he went across the diamond as Olsen picked it. Harper, he's looking to the heavens like, can you be nice to me, baseball gods? What is going on? Rizal, he's in a lot of trouble. We're fast-forwarding to the 9th. 2-run versus Trey, but he got one past him. So now the Phillies are down to their final out. Schwarber's at the dish. He chased the changeup, but he made contact. He's so strong that it might get to the track. It did get to the track, but Ronald tracked it down. He was yelling as soon as he caught it. Schwarber, I mean, this is the embodiment of what it's felt like to be a Philly player and fan over the last week and a half. They just got swept by the Braves. The Phillies are now 8-13, and the worst part, they're 5-10 at home. The Braves are 15-17 and 7-3 on the road. We brought up the Marlins a few moments ago about how their rebuild has kind of been really short, and look at them right now. So we're going to show the Dodgers versus Rockies right after this. The Rockies are trying to steal 2 wins against the Dodgers. Roki, we'll talk about Roki. Miz, he was on the bump. He has all the strikeouts in the world, but sometimes his command escapes him. His defense also didn't help, so the bases were loaded to Kyle Stowers, and just like that, it's 1-0. His command is already escaping him, so there's a meeting on the mound already, and this was for sure not in the plans or the discussion out on the mound. Like, no, not Kyle Stowers. His first at-bat back, 102 to the phalanges, the fingertips. No, he had a 151 OPS plus last year. He is a legitimate destroyer of baseballs. That's a huge addition back to the lineup, and thank goodness the gods had mercy because he stayed in. Augustine, there's no RBI because it was a double play, but it is a run. Now we have the RBI machine, Liam Hicks, up to the dish. Yup. He laced one the other way. He's up to 19 RBIs. See, I told you, Stowers, he's still in the game. Atta baby, a double. He roped it down the right field line. I love to see it. Now, I had to show that because I wanted to remind you guys that Stowers, he somehow avoided disaster. Miz, he left out Stowers, so nothing happened after that implosion of a first inning. He had 9 strikeouts. He has 42. He leads all of baseball. He has 129 strikeouts, his first 92. Let's just show all 9 strikeouts. Screw it. He was spamming 100 up. I don't know why the other team wasn't calling for ABS because the first few strikeouts were sure way above the zone. He was deploying sliders, fastballs, whatever he wanted, he was getting a strikeout on it. Yuri Perez, we know that he was awesome to begin his career back in 2023 before he missed a chunk of time with Tommy John. He also throws a zillion, and he used it with some of the off-speed and breaking pitches. He had 7 strikeouts. Hicks, he's on with the walk. Owen Casey, that's a nice lefty-lefty double. That's big. And Javier Sanoja, maybe he traded in his baseball bat for a lacrosse stick. He just threw his lacrosse stick out there, barely made contact. That's a 2-run knock. He saved the Marlins from themselves because Gary Sanchez, he would have tied it at 3 without that 2-run knock. By the way, Gary Sanchez as a casual, 192 OPS plus. El Kraken is back. Pete Fairbanks, he converted his 3rd save of the year. The Marlins, again, they're not 10 games over 500. They're 10-2, but they are improving. The Brewers, still pretty good, 12-9. So like I mentioned, the Rockies are trying for back-to-back wins in cores against the Dodgers. I didn't get to show the one yesterday because I needed a day off. These videos are grueling sometimes. Alex Freeman, there he is knocking in Ha-Seong Kim, and Ohtani, he's about to knock in Alex Freeland. That is an easy stand-up double for Ohtani. He has a 159 OPS plus, and by the way, a 0.5 ERA as a starting pitcher. Yeah, this is a fun debut. I've been waiting years for this. The 28-year-old Ryan Ward, this is a debut, ages the making. He had 154 home runs coming up in the farm system. He never has gotten a chance, though, because the Dodgers have always been so loaded. He also has very mad defense and a strikeout issue. But just a reminder, he had 34 home runs and 104 RBIs in 2024. Then he won PCL MVP with 36 home runs, 122 RBIs, and 16 stolen bases. That's his first hit and RBI. TJ Rumfield, he got 1 run back. Roki left 98 in the heart of the plate, and Kyle Karros. I mean, if you look up the definition of no doubter in the dictionary, you'll probably see this swing. 450 feet for the son of the Dodgers legend, Mr. Karros. Edouard Julien, there goes Roki's lead. Julien was like 0 for 19 coming into this game. He snapped it. Freeland, his 2nd RBI, so the Dodgers are back up. But I'm going to kind of just breeze through that because, Mickey Moniak has 6 home runs and 12 RBIs in 16 games. Tyler Freeman, he's about to extend it. He dunked in an RBI. And right after that, Julien, he made it a 3-hit and 3 RBI day. That is how you break an 0 for 19 streak. So it's a 9 spot, but hang on, the Dodgers, they're rallying. Ohtani had a loud ground rule double. Will Smith, he made it 9-5, and now the bases are loaded for Dalton Rushing. We've already seen him hit a grand slam this year. He ran into it. It was hit so hard that Castro bobbled it. He still got 1 out. The game's alive, though, as the run scored. Ward, here we go, baby. 2 are on. His team is down by 3. He flared it. 2 are going to score if this lands. Troy Johnston looked like Superman out there. That's a walk-off web gem. For the first time in 2026, the Dodgers have lost 2 games in a row, and it's to the Rockies. They get it done. So we ranted about the Mets, the Astros. Now we have to rant about Roki Sasaki because he allowed another 7 base hits in 4 2/3. He only had 2 strikeouts. He's now given up 21 hits in 17 2/3 and walked 12 hitters. Is he cut out to be a major league starter? He looked like this in spring as well. I know it's spring. You're supposed to take it with a grain of salt, but he looked horrific then. In 52 total innings as a starting pitcher, dating back to his last year as a rookie, he has a 5.2 ERA with 34 walks in those 52 innings. He only has 41 strikeouts. He has a 1.6 whip and an only 7.1 strikeouts per 9. He is literally setting up the Dodgers to lose every time he toes the rubber as a starter. Is he cut out for it? Do they have to abandon ship? From one Japanese superstar to another, Murakami made history in this game. The White Sox, they're about to open up the floodgates against Jeremy Springs, who, by the way, has been really good for the A's this year. After an Edgar Carroll sac fly, Derek Hill, he powered out a solo home run that's his first of the season. Chase Meidroth, there he is doubling ahead of Miguel Vargas, who is genuinely having one of the weirdest starts I've seen from any hitter this year because he has 14 walks to 15 strikeouts, so he's making great swing decisions. He has 3 home runs, 3 stolen bases, 10 RBIs, but just a 675 OPS, so maybe he needs luck to go his way. There's my friend Daryl Hernandez. He was the guy that had the walk-off home run for Team Puerto Rico. That's his first. I need the A's to either play him more or trade him. Moonshots are back. MUNE shots. Murakami, he leaned on this one. This ball went way out over the berm. He just became the first rookie in the 2000s. I found this stat, by the way. I could do some journalism sometimes. He's the first rookie in the 2000s, maybe even ever. I couldn't go that far because my computer was about to explode. Again, first rookie in the 2000s with 8 home runs and 20 walks in his first 22 games. He is who we thought he was, a titan who demolishes baseballs, strikes out, and takes walks. He's essentially Japanese Kyle Schwarber. Colson Montgomery, listen to these stats. That's his 5th home run of the season, but dating back to last year, that's 26 in 93 games. And defensively, he's also a monster. 10 outs above average and 26 home runs in 93 games. When was someone going to tell me that Geloff was back? He's producing now. Remember when Geloff had 20 doubles, 14 home runs, and 14 stolen bases in less than 70 games back in 2023? Him and Matt McClain were historically good before falling off. I need both those guys to bounce back. The White Sox, they win easy regardless, but there's more to show as Noah Schultz, he picked up his first career W. The 6'10 southpaw who they're calling Randy 2.0. Well, the second coming of Randy, because 2.0 would mean that he's better. Schultz was tunneling that slider with the fastball to righties early on. Then he got Jay Willie, who never strikes out, and first name Nick, last name Kurtz on some more heaters. He also has a cutter. There it is. He gets Soderstrom on it. Then he's painting fastballs away. Noah Schultz only allowed 1 hit and 1 run. It was on that home run. He goes 5 innings, 6 strikeouts. The future is bright in the South Side if they keep these guys. I don't know if they're going to keep Murakami. Like, that contract is way too special just to keep, right? Because they're not good enough to make the playoffs. Might as well turn that into prospects. We got a cold game down in Cleveland. I think it was like 40 degrees when this game started. Jose, he doesn't need hand warmers or anything like that. He's making things hot all by himself. His first of 2 home runs was off a guy who never allows home runs. That's Trevor Rogers. JRAM's up to 5 home runs and 10 stolen bases. Juan Brito, finally, he had such a great start to his career, really fell off. He banged it. Blaze Alexander, thank you very much for getting turned around. That has to get caught in my opinion. But Brito, that counts as a 2-run double. Roki, he thinks it's still Rocktober. 3 more base hits and 3 more RBIs. He has back-to-back 3 RBI games. Taylor Ward, he's got a bunch of extra base hits, but surprisingly, this is his first home run, a 107-mile-per-hour 3-run whale of a home run. Joey Cantillo was so close to another beauty, but Feste's gonna get the final. Oh, I can't say it. The third out sailed on Juan Brito, his 3rd error already. He just made his debut. I am going to lose my mind. Brito to Roki, safe. It is 5-4. Thank you, Sweet Prince. After getting out of that jam, JRAM, his 2nd home run, snatched the momentum back. Thank you. He's on pace for 42 home runs and 70 stolen bases. That one, dude, he was leaning on that home run. Ward, can you leave us alone? Thank you, Angel Martinez, for snatching away that base hit. And Roki, I told you guys, a 3 RBI day. He has a 121 OPS plus and 2 outs above average. This is what he was doing coming up in the farm system. He was so good offensively. The Guardians book it. They've won 2 games in a row. They're 13-10. The Orioles, 10-12. Nando is causing chaos in Anaheim. He's off on the pitch. He's in there safely as the ball got away. And this is one of the weirdest starts to a season I've ever seen a player have, because Tatis, he's got 6 stolen bases, platinum level defense again, 12 RBIs in 22 games, but 0 home runs despite the amazing launch angle and the best hard hit percentage in all of baseball. Xander, he got on base 3 times. He made it 1-0 for Michael King. We'll get back to King in a second. It's still bogey time. We're in the 6th inning. Xander stole a base hit from Trouty. I mean, that was a sick reach and grab. Walbert, I think that's how you say it. Walbert Urena. Who is this dude? This was his first career start. He touched 100 miles an hour a couple times, and his changeup moves. Look at what he did to the future Hall of Famer Manny Machado. A sword. Urena had 8 strikeouts in 6 innings. This run is going to go to him, though. He tried for 7. Bryce Johnson, he peppered one the other way after a reliever came in. Neto, yeah, he had an RBI ground out, but it is Miller time. Mason Miller, 2 more strikeouts. He has 8 saves. The Padres are now 15-7, but that scoreless inning makes it 32 2/3 in a row, dating back to August of 2025 that Mason has not allowed a run. The Padres record is 33 2/3, so 1 inning away. Mason Miller now has 27 strikeouts in 11 innings. Can he win a Cy Young? You guys, like, I know I've asked you a question already, but let me know in the comments. Can Mason Miller win the freaking Cy Young? King and the bullpen combined for 2 base hits. King, he had 6 strikeouts and 5 shutout. He's down to a 2.2 ERA. The Padres are looking mean, and Tatis isn't even going yet. This might be the most dramatic question I think I've ever asked you guys. Like, full-blown prisoner of the moment type beat. Is Dylan Dingler on his way to being the best catcher in baseball by the end of the year? Listen, I know it's off of Garrett Crochet. He's been tough, but that's still Garrett Crochet. That's a 2-out RBI double. Now, that's cool enough, but it wasn't Dylan's best moment of the game. Wilson, he tied it for a second. They broke out the Wally mask, and that was kind of it as Crochet and Framber settled in after those RBI extra base hits, but Jemai ended it. Crochet, he left it right over the plate at 96 miles an hour. Like, Jones crushes lefties, can't do that. And then he did it again, this time with 2 on. Dylan! He dented another baseball. The Dingler had 3 base hits off of Garrett Crochet. He has 5 home runs with prodigious raw numbers. He could be a 40 home run guy if he DHs a little bit more and they save his legs. But at the same time, I'm going to show Framber's quality start as I'm glazing Dylan Dingler. The velocities, the barrel rates, the hard hit percentages. He doesn't strike out. He's already showing elite caught stealing abilities as a catcher. He's a great framer. He's on pace for an 8-win season. Now, the big dumper, Cal Raleigh, he's been out of his mind defensively with the blocking and throwing out runners. The bat is lagging, and it's been lagging since the WBC. Dylan Dingler, I'm not saying he's the best catcher right now, but by the end of the year, when we look at other guys like Will Smith, Cal Raleigh, if Dylan Dingler keeps this up, he's going to be an 8 to 9 win player, and he will be the best catcher in baseball if he keeps this up. The Tigers are back on a win streak. The Red Sox are 8-13, and I'm watching the Red Sox game off to my right as I'm recording. Sonny Gray just left the game with a hamstring issue. Oh boy. We're going to jump to the 5th inning of this Pirates and Rays game. Mitch Keller's in trouble. Hunter Fiducia just grabbed the lead. It is 2-1 on a base hit to right field. By the way, the first one for the Pirates was on a Brian Reynolds RBI ground out. Nicky G, he kind of got sawed off. Cedric, he tried his best. This was an insane effort, but he's just short. By the way, very heads up play by Nicky G to go to second base on the throw home. And again, very heads up because he's not going to score on this without it. Reynolds, again, he had an RBI ground out earlier, so a 3 RBI day after 2 more. Spencer Horwitz, I mean, with shades of Derek Dietrich, this was a pinch hit 2-run stunner, and that's how you pimp one, just kind of leaning back on it and watching it fly. Again, shades of Derek Dietrich when he was a Red. Mitch Keller, this was a workhorse start, 2 strikeouts in the 7th inning. He had 5 on the day over 7 frames. He is so weird because he allowed no walks. The game before that, he had 4 walks. The game before that, 1 walk. The game before that, 4. The game before that, 0. So he's either going to allow 1 or nothing or 5. Super cute moment. Jake Mangum noticed a young fan wearing his jersey, and I don't know if that was, I think I'd read that was her brother. So sweet that he caught the ball and gave it to his younger sister. From a sweet moment to a sweet swing, Nick York with the yamo bamo. I had to find a word that started with the Y. Maybe Nick York with the ya-ya. York has an elite hard hit percentage, and also he doesn't whiff with pretty nice defense. He looks like he could be a dude. Caminero, he's already a dude. He's walking a lot more. He does have -5 outs of average. He has to keep grinding and fixing his defense, but that's his 5th home run. The Pirates raise the Jolly Roger again. They're 13-9. The Rays are 12-9. Brian Wu, finally, he got some run support. Rob Refsnyder, this might be a little hyperbolic and dramatic, just like we talked about. Is Dylan Dingler maybe the best catcher by the end of the season? Like, Rob Refsnyder has all-time bat talent versus left-handed pitchers, like all-time. JP Crawford, he's about to do something that only one other human has ever done. He has multiple home runs in his career against Mackenzie Gore. I think Michael Harris is the only other dude. Brian Wu, his pitches were dancing. He had 2 strikeouts in the 4th. He gets Seager and Langford. At one point, he set down. He just kept setting down Ranger after Ranger after Ranger after Ranger. Randy, is that a 3rd home run for the Mariners? He keeps it fair. There was an insane bat flip, and I really like how they play rock, paper, scissors at first base. They both said paper. Super quick game. That was easy. There was a concert in the dugout as Wu gets another quality start. He has a 2.8 ERA his last 340 innings. Senor Smoke got his 3rd save by striking out the side. The Mariners are 10-13. The Rangers are 11-11. We got the Twins and the Reds. Minnesota is up by 2 after a Caratini sac fly, and Josh Bell, he's been roping RBIs left and right. He has 15 already. Caratini and Bell are going to be in this next clip. Caratini almost took out Bell. That was a rocket. Now, the Reds, they're getting 1 back on a Sal Stewart RBI. It looked really cold out. I mean, Ellie's got the shiesty on. That was it off of Bailey Ober. He's trying to regain his 2022 to 2024 form where he had a 3.6 ERA and a 9.5 strikeouts per 9. He got torn up to begin this year after getting torn up last year, but in this one, he had 10 strikeouts. Andrew Morris, he's looking for his first career save. He's been nasty coming up. But we have a brand new game. TJ Friedl, I cannot believe I'm saying this. He has a stand-up 3-run double. Everyone's fired up. That was his first extra base hit of the year. But now the Twins are fired up because Austin Martin, he came in as a pinch hitter and he tied it up, a double to bring home James Outman. So more extras. Martin, he's out there in left field. Sal Stewart just destroyed a ball 110, and Martin almost blew it. Those liners directly to you are some of the hardest reads in all of baseball. Back to Martin. He overran after the 3rd baseman couldn't get Ellie. He wasn't going to go, but then he, oh my God, speed. It's so distracting. You have to rush everything. Rhys Hines, we know that he went bananas to begin his career with what? 4 or 5 home runs in his first few games with a bunch of doubles, 2 more RBIs. That's his first extra base hit as well. And then something I think we've only seen once before this year, a walk-off ABS call. Graham Ashcraft and PJ Higgins. By the way, PJ is so good. He's 4 for 4 at ABS already. Ashcraft gets the save, and the Reds get the sweep. The Reds are 14-8. The Twins are coming down fast, unfortunately. I like the Twins. And that's coming from a Guardians fan. Now that Carlos Correa isn't on the squad, I'm not afraid of them every time we play them. I don't mind them. Miles Michaelis didn't allow 10 runs, so the Nationals wanted to use him different, so he came in as an opener, so one guy started, and then he went 4 shutout with 4 strikeouts. Talking about Miles Michaelis, and he's just out the game now because he's not allowed to face Devers a second time. They felt like, hey, yeah, you faced him once, not going to go a second time. Andrew Alvarez, he's back in the big leagues. He had a 2.3 ERA in 23 innings last year. Devers, he flied out, so we're going to the bottom of the 5th. Now, Azim Nunez is one of the most fun players to watch in all of baseball. He is quite literally a Kenny Lofton type player. There was a 0% chance you were ever going to get him, and now he's look at the read off this swing. Kyber, he barreled one to Ramos who couldn't catch it. Nazim, he read it well. He's one of the fastest dudes in baseball. He's going to score. He moves. It's 1-0. And Curtis Mead, this guy could be a problem against lefties. He only has a 10.5 strikeout rate on the year. He has a 925 OPS versus lefties, and he's one of the best hitters in baseball at not striking out, so that's a big-time plus. You have back-to-back strikeouts for Alvarez in the 6th. He's looking gross. More strikeouts, another in the 7th, and another to end the 8th. That curveball is nice. He had a 12-something strikeouts per 9 in AAA this year. He's out for the 9th. He got it done. 5 strikeouts, no walks. Again, he had 27 strikeouts in 19 innings at AAA. He could be a sneaky fantasy ad if you guys need it. There we go, another recap in the books. Thank you guys so much for watching. Shout out to all of my people watching on a treadmill or on a walk or on the drive home, or you just order Chipotle and you save my video for food time. I love that. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for growing the game of baseball with me, and enjoy the web gems.
Bunts it towards third. Pretty good one. Bregman picks it up. Be a little more stern. Line to right center. That's in the alley. And a diving catch. Into the gap. Gilbert sprinting over. And he'll
to shortstop. Diving effort for Vaughn. And he aces turn.
Justin Harris is the batter. And a line drive to left. Church with a dive.